What they don't tell you about the spiritual awakening process. Well, first and foremost, it's not linear. It doesn't move in a straight line. It doesn't go step A, B, C, D. It goes from C to Z, back to D to A to F. It all depends on your environment and the situations that you're in your life. Hi, guys. Welcome. My name is Nan Vazakis, and I like to share my experiences to bring you information from a perspective that you may have not heard before. So, spiritual awakening is really big topic right now because let's face it, everyone's going through it to some extent or another. This new energy that we're in is really activating deep parts of us that we have not accessed before. So, you can bet that you're going to be experiencing a lot of ascension symptoms and basically coming into a whole new world, a whole new life. All right. So my spiritual awakening started back in 2009 when I was still in the military as an EOD tech. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically the bomb squad for the military. And when I went to Iraq in 2009, 2010, that is when I had my first what identity crisis. Really, that's basically what spiritual awakening is, but so much more than that because it's not just one identity crisis. It's you waking up to the fact that you are not really who you thought you were. Suddenly, the things that you thought that you liked don't feed you anymore. Suddenly, the people around you you feel differently about. It's like all of a sudden you realize that your entire life was a lie. And through this process, through these experiences, you're going to become a new version of yourself over and over and over again. There are many layers of our identity that have to be cleared away. So it's really an undoing of who you thought you were as your soul guides you into the version of you that is really you. Essentially, it's undoing or clearing out all the egoic patterns within our consciousness that have been created through our environment, the place that we've been in the world, basically what the world has told us that we were. And eventually, I believe everybody comes to this point at some time in their life. You come up to a situation, an experience that makes you feel like that's all wrong. And the more you allow yourself to feel these things, the more efficiently you're going to be able to move through them. But let me tell you, the fundamental things that you're clearing out control, instant gratification, or desires that maybe you think are important, but are actually things that are blocking you, right? And the control's a really, really big one because in certain ways, we create control dynamics to feel safe. And if depending on how we grew up and what happened with our family, right? Whatever dynamics that kept us feeling safe, a lot of times those are attachments. And these attachments are the antithesis of love. And what this whole process really is doing is bringing us, it's opening our heart, it's bringing us more into a state of love. Now, number one, it's not linear. Okay. Number two, you cannot see what's going to happen, right? If you think that you know what's going on and you think you know where it's going to go, I can promise you that you're more than likely wrong. It's because you're going to become a new version of you as you go through these periods. Now, this is different for everyone and they last different amounts of time for everyone in every situation. For me personally, my process took roughly 14 years. Now, I remember back in 2014. So my initial spiritual awakening experience was back in 2009, 2010. And then, I went through a phase, a period of time, and I'll get into that. But 2014 is when I was going through massage therapy school. I already made a massive amount of change in my life. And I remember at this time, I had been going to these self-development schools, basically. This one in particular was called PSI, Personal Success Institute. And when I went through this, we were doing vision boards and visualizations and all this NLP stuff, right? And after I did my first really, like major vision board, and I did all these visualization techniques. I remember I was at my house in Las Vegas, and I was walking out of my house to go to the gym, I think. And I was looking at my vision board because I put it right in front of my front door. And I looked at it and I really like felt into it. And I remember saying to myself, I will be financially free. I don't care what it takes. I don't care what I have to do. I am going to create financial freedom and love my life. Those are two things that I really wanted. At the time, I was uh I was single, and that decision that I made for myself forever chose my life. After that time, everything in my life started to change and it sped up faster and faster and faster. I noticed that everything that I went through, okay, and I'm speaking from my perspective, in a context so that you can take and pluck whatever is relevant to your experiences from my experiences, because experience is the best teacher, right? So, right around that time is when I also discovered ayahuasca. And ayahuasca forever changed my life. And that was really the biggest turning point of my experiences. And my life started speeding up faster, but it also seemed to be getting worse. Now, why is that? I've met a lot of people that have said that their lives seem to get worse after working with plant medicine. Well, I'll tell you why, because, my life got pretty crazy, for a while. And I did a lot of plant medicine, right? But going through these processes, plant medicine opens you up and it shifts your vibration. So if you are moving back to the old vibration by your belief systems, your habits, your patterns, what you're consuming, who you're with in a relationship, whatever it might be, you have to learn these lessons and you have to shift and move on. And different people have different amount of layers of lessons. I had quite a few. I've had thousands of ego deaths, right? Some people, they go in, they do ayahuasca once, boom, their entire life has changed and they change the world and everything's great, right? That's not the case for everyone, but you have to let go of thinking that you might know, all right? So as I went through this process, things got worse and worse and worse. But hindsight's always 2020. So I really figured out and discovered that as I went through my processes, I had a lot of karmic shit that I had to figure out, that I had to handle. And a lot of it was around my relationship with women. So I got in a lot of very tumultuous relationships with women, and each one got more and more and more. And each time I shifted into a different version of myself and had to face these different parts of myself that I had not faced yet, right? My self-worth and self-confidence, my insecurity and my jealousy and envy, and all these things that I didn't want to even admit to myself that I had going on. So until you finally get to the point, and here's how you know that you've kind of made it to the other side, so to speak, is that when you stop trying to figure it out, when you stop trying to achieve something and you just fully accept and embrace everything that is going on in your life, and you have gratitude for it, and you have let go of needing to know, needing to understand, needing it to look and be a certain way, needing yourself to be at this place that you have created in your mind to be at. Like, when I get here, I'm going to feel this way and everything's going to be awesome. That's not how it works. It's the opposite. And that voice in your head is the ego. It is not your soul. When the soul is in charge, wherever you're at, it makes you feel alive. It opens you up. It makes you feel, you kind of stay open. And things may not be, you're not always going to have everything that you want or that you think you want, right? But the universe is going to fill you with what it is that is really going to fulfill you energetically. Okay, so you're going to go forward, back, reverse, left, right, up and down. You're going to go through very dark periods. You're going to go through very euphoric and light and exciting and happy feelings. Everything in between. All right, but the one key factor to take away from this during your spiritual awakening process is to know that you have made it when you fully accept your reality and everything in it, and you have let go of your past and stopped trying to create something from a story that you've made up in your mind. Okay, that's how you know that you shifted from ego-based consciousness to heart-based consciousness. And that is the whole purpose and process. So I hope this simple yet passionate description of the spiritual awakening helps. And if you would like to know more, or if you'd like some guidance and support, please go ahead and go to my website, optimizinghuman.com. I appreciate you guys so very much. Have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Aho.